Hello everybody, I'm back. I am TheChornick, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go over Pokemon X and Y episode number 75. Yes, indeed. And in this episode, ladies and gentlemen, this wasn't a very interesting episode to me, but it was still nice, especially for the ending where Ash and Shota had their battle 3v3. And we will describe that mainly later, but I'll give a little brief summary about this episode and what happened at the beginning. So, let's delve into it now, shall we? Now, Shota, basically the conflict of this whole thing was Shota was walking with the gang, and he fell and dropped his journal he always carries around, and he didn't realize he dropped it, and he continued walking with them, and then at the picnic they were having together, he realized that he no longer had his journal, and he was like freaking out and going all over the place, and the gang then left to go help find it with him. Now, in the meantime, Team Rocket actually found it, and originally thought it belonged to Steven Stone because Steven's photo was in it and his autograph and everything. So they thought it was Steven that owned this thing, and Jessie had a little gag about like thinking he was handsome and how she wanted to marry him and stuff like that stuff. And then like Team Rocket was just like trying to find out like basically study this journal about like they thought, you know, all these different tactics and stuff, and they were going nuts about it, and pretty much they just loved this journal, and they kind of fell in love with it and all that good stuff. It's kind of funny, but anyway, eventually Shota found the book, and the gang found the book, and then Team Rocket found out that it was actually Shota's, and Team Rocket then attacked, but then the gang took out Team Rocket, and then everything was a-okay now. Shota had his book back, and so then we went pretty much right to the gym, not really gym battle. We went right to the battle between Shota and Ash. Now, this was a very important battle, I think, in my mind, because it really showed the difference in strengths between Ash and Shota. Shota being a beginner and Ash being a more highly experienced trainer, and it really showed like the difference between them and the rivalry that actually started springing up between them and their Pokemon. Now, in the first Pokemon battle that started, it was Pikachu versus Bagon. And Pikachu just freaking annihilated Bagon like within like 2 attacks and just completely wiped Bagon out like just like that, like Pikachu should. And the whole battle actually made sense, and how like Ash would win, like how he just won easily, and it made sense at this point. And then the second battle was Hawlucha and the other fairy type Pokemon. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of fairy type Pokemon names. I just can't. They just like leave my mind. But anyway, yeah, Hawlucha won like just like that with his flying press, and he won like in 2 attacks. And then Frogadier came out against Grovyle, well actually Trico, and they went on a duel, and Frogadier was just like jumping all around Trico and just like annihilating him like he did in the 2 previous episodes, where he like faced him and just totally took him out with his Aerial Ace or whatever it was, and just annihilated Trico like a boss. But in this episode, Trico actually evolved mid-battle into Grovyle, and so Frogadier and Grovyle just went at it, and still Frogadier, even though he has, you know, the disadvantage, I guess you could say, in being a water type against a grass type like Trico or Grovyle, he still won because he has a higher experience and he's a higher leveled Pokemon and all that stuff, and Grovyle lost. But at the end of the battle, like it pretty much hinted at that this was gonna be a rivalry between Grovyle and Frogadier, because they were looking at each other all evil-like in their eyes, and the scenes that it just showed that they're gonna have something probably in the future. I'm guessing there could be some Greninja versus Sceptile thing in the Pokemon League that I think is going to happen. That's going to be the final battle between Ash and Shota. Like the final 2 Pokemon might be Greninja and what's his name? I just said it. Sceptile. But anyway, yeah, so that's something I predicted is going to happen. But this match was sweet. It was a really good battle. That's the part I loved about this episode. The beginning, it was boring up until this point, but Ash just kind of mopped the floor with Shota in this battle. Just none of Ash's Pokemon died. Pikachu won, Ash recalled him. Hawlucha won, Ash recalled him, and then Frogadier won, and then that was it. So none of the Pokemon died on Ash's team. Ash just switched out the Pokemon. So pretty much Ash just wiped the floor. Honestly, I think he could have just used Pikachu and wiped out Shota's team entirely, probably. just right from the start. But no, I like how they did that and had Ash bring out the different Pokemon just to make it a little bit more nice, I guess, to Shota that he didn't get wiped out with one Pokemon. But anywho, it was an awesome episode. It was an awesome episode just because of the gym. I keep saying gym battle because there's so many gym battles and we don't get to see much battles between Ash and other trainers. So it was nice that they had a little battle between Ash and another trainer that wasn't a gym battle, and I like that. And so far, Tierno and Shota have kind of been only really there for that role. But anywho, hopefully we see more trainers that Ash will go and face. But anyway, guys, what do you think of this episode? What do you think about the future between Grovyle and Frogadier and Ash and Shota? What do you think? Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Please post in the comment section below what you thought. And thanks, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Peace out!